You want like the ass in the air?
I do have that.
In the air. Stop. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Vajayjays podcast. I'm Krista.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Liz.
So we've been in quarantine since March and it's now October. So we've been in this thing for like 7 months. We've been sheltering in place. A lot of businesses were closed and we're kind of just forced to stay at home. How has being in the house more often for 8 to 9 months changed you?
Okay, so when quarantine started, right, I started working from home. And obviously when you're home, you're not as focused because obviously when you're at home, you have all your toys around. There's a TV, there's, video games, there's a kitchen where you can constantly go and get snacks and maybe just stay there. So it's kind of like a break room, but not being forced to go back to your desk.
Yeah.
That's what I mean as being unmotivated. Like there's so many distractions at home that it's hard to stay focused.
I think it's like the opposite for me because I told you guys, like, even in school, I never wanted to go work at the library and stuff. I did all my work in my room on my desk. Like, I feel like I got more motivated during quarantine because I'm working so much and I don't get distracted by like the kitchen and stuff because my house doesn't have that many snacks. So like, I feel like I'm way more motivated and working a lot harder during quarantine.
I feel like I've been able to slow life down for myself. I always have so much on my plate, and I think that's one thing that was like a huge change in my life. Like I didn't know how to react at first when I literally like couldn't do anything. Like there was a meme going around saying like, I don't know how you bums do it. No gyms open, can't go to work, like you can't go to school. Like I was laughing because I literally feel the same way. Like I don't know how people can just sit on the couch. Like no offense if that's you, but for me, like that's not something I can do. I can't just do nothing. So it was a huge change in my life, and it took a lot for me to really understand what it meant to relax and understand what it meant to slow down. Now I love TV, which is probably bad.
No, it's not. Join the club.
Let's talk about it.
But that's personally how it's changed my life.
I think for me, I've just been taking more time spending time with myself, like doing more journaling and like, I don't know, processing things. I'm just like Kylie. I'm realizing things, I feel like I've done this before. Like I would meditate and spend time like in prayer and like journaling and all that before, but like I just get to do it more consistently and more freely now. Like I'm not always like, oh, I have to finish this and then I gotta go somewhere or whatever. So I feel a little bit more free.
What have you guys learned about like yourself in terms of like your personality, your habits, and then also the relationships you have with people since you're like not able to see them all the time?
I personally learned the importance of spending my time with people who I really want to. I feel like it's made me realize who my closer friends are versus not so close friends. And it's not to say that I can't really, or like they're not like a friend I can still go to, right? It's not that I don't care about them, right? But they may not be my go-to anymore, or I may want to, spend my time with other friends versus always saying yes to other ones. So that's definitely has been an eye-opener. In terms of changing my habits, I now make my bed every day. I can't start my day without making my bed. It just doesn't feel right. And it helped motivate me not to just lay in bed all day. Mm-hmm. So like the minute I made my bed, I was like, all right, it's time to go. Got to get moving. If I didn't make my bed, it was a lot easier to just jump back in it during quarantine and do nothing.
I think I've been a little bit more relaxed, as in like before, like I would always have to be doing something. Like there's always like a book that I had to finish, or like a group I had to go to, or like just like favors I had to do. But I think now, like I'm able to just like chill more. Like even at work, like before when I was working in person, I would literally work, never like ever pick up my phone. And now I get to like pick up my phone every now and then. Not to say that I'm like slacking off, but I'm like Dude, like to pick up my phone is a big deal for me because I would put my phone in the drawer at 8 and then take it out at 5 and never see what would happen.
Okay, for me, I think I developed the habit of eating breakfast because I'm now up sometimes like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I just have so much to do. Like I just ready and then I get hungry. So I'm like, wow, eating breakfast actually helps. Like my doctor always said, eat breakfast does something to you. And I'm like, whatever. But then now I'm like, oh, I can't really go on without breakfast. I'm starving. And also, I think same thing with my friends, like you said, Alyssa, like it's not that I'm not saying like they're not good friends, but I've realized if I don't reach out, they no longer reach out. And I get everyone's really busy and like these are like hard times, but definitely I'm busy too. And I still have the time to reach out to people. So like I know now what friends kind of just, it's been so many months that I feel like I don't even know them anymore because like they just do not message me at all. And then for myself, I think I'm learning to like being alone more because like up until college I was always very social, so like in college I spent every day with people, right? Like I went out all the time and then like came back here and then had all the health stuff, so I started learning how to be alone. And now I'm just like I work by myself all the time. I'm always in my room by myself. My brother and sister have moved out, so it's like I'm literally all alone here and I'm like enjoying it. It's weird. I like really like being by myself. I mean, I'm getting bored, but like
Ain't nothing wrong with being independent.
yeah.
I probably agree with what you guys are saying. Like I talk, like I usually tell like I have separate groups that we talk, it's like Animal Crossing groups or like groups with you guys, and we like talk on a normal basis, and I've always told them like if you guys are kind of reaching a hard time, like go ahead and call me, like I'm free, and let's just like talk about it. And so like I've gotten closer with one of my friends. Like we would have been close, but like we've gotten closer now because she's just like, I just have a lot on my plate and I just kind of need someone to just like help me out and just like listen. So I've been kind of doing that, and I think for the most part I've just been sleeping more. A lot more. And then you guys already know that like I got laid off, and so like I was used to waking up at 7:00 just to get ready to wake up for 8, or like before, even when during quarantine I woke up early because I had customers who were international, so I wanted to make sure I like got to their emails before they like went out for the day. But now I get to enjoy sleeping in, and I stay in bed until 11, which is awful, absolutely awful. But I've made my routine now to be a little bit more active. So now I'm kind of like waking up around like 9, and I try to work out at like 10, at least for like an hour 3 times a week. Job search every other day, and then just kind of pick up on hobbies.
So how has work been for y'all? Like, I know Tiff said she's laid off. Kat, you started your small business. Krista, you work at home and now check your phone. But how has that been?
Because Krista, you still had to go in the beginning of shelter in place, right?
Yeah, that was kind of the scary part, is because like some parts of our business you had to go in and print paper. Yeah, it was a little scary, especially because one of my coworkers,
Why?
I don't know, because we have an old system. You got to print paper, and it's dumb. I
file
still have to
or-
print paper. Yeah,
The
like
file?
yeah, like
They
okay,
don't know about the cloud? Like,
no, we are so behind, and this is the government, by the way.
that's so sad.
But we are upgrading soon. But yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't produce a file like a
Yeah.
digital file. Like, it's so dumb. Anyway, but it kind of scared me because some of my coworkers actually tested positive for COVID-19, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was kind of scared, but like luckily I wasn't around at that time. But it was pretty nice because we usually have like a end of the year event for everybody around this time of the year, and we were able to still have it. Like, we went to the parking lot and they did like a drive-by pickup, so they bought us all food. And we bought like, and they ordered from Tea Korea, which is like a taqueria and also has boba. So come on, those are my favorite things.
Whoa.
And a drive-by. So like, yeah, they gave us like some time to go over, get the drive-by food, and then go back. And we literally just like ate our food on the Zoom call, like all like hanging out. Like that was a lot of fun.
How's it adjusting just working at home now though?
I think I get to relax more. Like, like it was hard. It's hard, like, because I literally do put the phone, or I used to put the phone in the drawer, because
Yeah.
like I was just like always conscious of people like looking at me now I know that they're not looking at me. I'm
Yeah.
still producing the same amount of work, but like I could check my phone every once in a while. And then like it's not just hard on me too, because I think people in my team, they all have kids and they're like young kids. So whenever like we call, there's always kids running around, and it doesn't bother me. I find that it's very cute. It's very soothing to like, oh, that's so cute. But like I know like it has to be tough on them too. So
Melissa, first time teacher at home. Vent to
Yeah.
us.
Oh boy. I'm a first grade teacher, so it's been tough teaching kids online through Zoom, but it's still so cute to see their personalities, even though it's on the other side of the screen. Like, they're still little 6-year-olds who want to learn, who want to talk to their teacher, who want to just admire their teacher. So like, I still get all the love, and it's so cute, you know what I mean? And they're trying their best. They're amazing, and I've been pushing them a lot with technology and the programs and like learning programs I've been using. So I've been really pushing them. So I praise them all the time. And Kat actually came up with some work for me to give to my kids, and they love it. So it's been good. My kids have been turning in a lot more work now that I have some more incentives to give. I think the hardest part about it, though, is that I am isolated. I don't have that lunchroom conversation that I could be having with other teachers, where that was so key last year when I was student teaching, because I was able to see that, like, one, I'm not alone, and two, you know this kid from last year, like, you know, like, you've had them the whole year. I can go to you and be like, hey, listen, I'm struggling with this student. What did you do? Can you give me tips? Blah, blah, blah. And so, like, you know, like, as a teacher, like, I was able to like bounce off of other teachers. And but now that not only am I at a new school and I'm a first year teacher and we're in quarantine and like shelter in place, like, I feel even more isolated. Like, I honestly wish there was like a Google Drive or a folder or something that, or even just like a welcome teacher kit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, like, this is what you need, you know,
Yeah.
like, if you have tech issues, this is who you call. If you have, you know, you need support in this area, this is who you can email. Like, I don't even know that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know who to reach out to if I need something, you know? And like, I've been sending emails and sometimes they don't get responded, and I'm like, okay, I even feel more alone, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's just the hardest part, is as a new teacher, you already feel isolated because you don't know the team, you don't know any of these teachers. And now that I'm physically isolated, it's just even worse.
Stay strong. You're
I
doing a
can't
good
imagine.
job. Did you guys pick up any new skills during this COVID time?
I did. Okay, I learned how to make boba, like the actual balls from scratch. Honestly, it's
You
really
made balls?
good. I mean, balls, lots of little
What a
balls.
skill.
I know. I'm trying to perfect it, but yeah, I got to learn that.
I perfected my sticker craft, I guess. Um, I didn't know how to like make a white background on like pictures, so I like used Inkscape and was able to learn that and perfect my little stickers that I make.
I don't think I learned any new skills because I haven't had time. So no.
I've been doing a lot of cooking. Like, I tried bread for the first time. It was very hard. I can understand why bread is expensive. A lot of our muscles for kneading. And I actually, like, me and my friends, because we have been trying to figure out like things to kind of like hang out more often because everyone has such a different schedule. We've actually decided to do monthly bakes. And so everyone will take turns doing a new recipe that they wanted to try or teaching us something that they perfected.
All right, well, aside from skills, are there any hobbies that you might have picked up?
I'm not very like consistent with it, but I've been doing more like powerlifting. So, I mean, I've been doing that before. I just wasn't like consistent, but like now I get to go into the gym in my garage and just like hang out and not have to worry about like I don't know. I don't like the gym culture where you have to wait in line or you have to keep circling around like waiting for somebody to come over. So, it's just been nice being able to like chill and lift on my own terms.
I'm jealous. For me, I've been cooking, or me and my grandma, we were cooking like experimenting with different recipes. Like for a minute we were making hella baos, so like that was cool. And that was with my Mexican grandma, so we were like putting our own little flair to it, so that was fun.
I have no hobbies or anything. I feel so sad. I can't think of anything, but I genuinely, I'm not trying to complain. I literally work all day until I sleep. And then when I'm in bed, I'm doing the social media part of work and then I go to bed. So like I really don't do anything else.
What has been the most challenging part of being in quarantine?
For me is not being able to see my family. Because my baby cousins, my mom used to watch them. So I had my own routine of like I would get off work around 2, around the time they get off school, because I would do the rest at home because of my back. And so like I had a routine of I'm going to come home and then they do their homework in my room while I work. And then when we're finished, we watch TV together until they eat dinner and go home. And so like it's so weird all of a sudden when they just couldn't come anymore. And now like we text and all the cousins have our group chat and stuff and like our FaceTime calls. And it's so sad. I just miss being around my baby cousins. I used to just go to their house all the time. That's the hardest
Yeah.
part.
I think that's the hardest thing for me too. Is like I just miss being around people, like physically, like actively doing things together. Like texting people and like FaceTiming them, that's cool and all, but like it's just I don't feel like as involved or connected.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's affected me and Armando's relationship in terms of us like having fun. So me and Armando every Monday go on Mondays, and we, it's just that designated time like that we are able to just, forget about whatever's happening and just hang out, whether that was, movies, going to the movies. We are super competitive, so Golfland was fun. We would even go to just regular driving range, just doing things outside of being home. And I think it has affected like, our specific time. Like, yeah, we still hang out, but it's not like a date anymore.
Yeah.
I also probably say family too, because a lot of my family is here in San Jose. And, we do occasionally meet up, but it's still very rarely. It's like maybe like once every 2 months. And that's actually just to make sure that we're all pretty clean, because my sisters work, 2 of them work in the hospital and one of them works, in elderly homes. So they're also very like, pretty open for like getting exposed to COVID. So we always make sure that, like they get tested and that they're negative before we come over, because my mom is also constantly watching like the kids. But also agree with you guys how like going out, like I don't know if I necessarily miss spending money, because you realize that during COVID you're just like, wow, I'm saving a lot of money. And I kind of just more like the aspect of just being out, like even if it's like just going to the park or just taking a walk somewhere, like I just miss kind of being out in like the sun and breathing air.
Or like restaurants. I really miss dining out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
not the
feeling.
same.
Yeah.
Like takeout's not the same. It's like soggy by the time it gets to your house. Or like the noodles are all stuck together. Like it's just.
And then you gotta take everything out of the box. It's not as fun as like just eating on the plate that it comes out in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just miss that. Yeah.
So other than like not being able to like physically go out or like physically see people, would you say that you've had any other challenges? Like, has it been challenging with the people you live with? I mean, personally, I live with my sister and she's younger than me. Love her. Love you, sis. But in the beginning of all of this, we were like this, like for real. Like she was just in the bathroom when I needed to use the bathroom, you know what I mean? She was in the living room when I wanted to watch TV in the living room. It was just like, we could not figure it out. And like, it got to a point where she would just be like, okay, I'm going to walk away now. And I was like, you know what? Me too. I got it. And we would just go in our rooms, and like, we literally had to be like, all right, like it's time to go. We can't see each other right now, because our lives were on completely different schedules. We saw each other like hi, bye, or sometimes we'd have dinner together. But I feel like that was a huge challenge for me and my sister to truly overcome, because we weren't used to seeing each other so much and just being in each other's face.
Yeah. I think my challenge was the opposite, because my sister got married and left during quarantine to her own house. And then my brother moved out in like January for work. So like I had to adjust being the only kid living with my parents while being trapped at home. So then it was like I'm kind of going insane. And like every time they need something like translated or ordered, it's all me now. Like they can't ask anyone else. So like it gets like a little like sometimes I want my own space. Like yes, I'm alone, but then like I feel like I'm always being, I don't know, I don't have anyone to like have fun with. I get bored.
Yeah.
Like I really just miss having my siblings here sometimes. But I feel like quarantine made us closer because like when they do come visit to eat once in a while, like we just have so much more to catch up on.
Yeah, I feel like even though me and my sister were like this, like it definitely like made our bond a lot closer. And now like we'll be like, hey, let's kick it tonight. And I'll be like, all right, cool. You know, like we can hang out and watch TV together in the living room. It's not a big deal anymore. But at first it was tough.
Dude, same. My sister, like, and I, like, we would never actually see each other before. Because, like, I was always not at the house. And she was also never at the house either. So now that, like, it was kind of rough in the beginning, like, always being around each other. Because she was also working from home. And also we share a wall. Yeah, it was really frustrating, especially when one of us is yelling during somebody else's meeting. But I think we were able to like learn how to bond. Like I kind of miss that, like our childhood bond. It's mostly over like what we're gonna eat for lunch that day, but I think that was pretty nice.
How about you, Tiff, since you live with friends?
And
Yes,
Michael.
I live with college friends that we've known since our VSA club in college. Well, actually, it's been a little different because we had been switching rooms. So me and Michael were currently living in a smaller room, and now we switched over to the master's room. That there's so much space that I feel like sometimes I feel bad because I don't go downstairs because I'm like, look at all the space that I have here. Like I got a couch that I can watch the TV, or like I can play video games up here, and Michael's usually playing on his desktop. But like my motto is like usually if you're down in the community area, which is where the kitchen is and the living room, you're there to kind of be social. Like that's when you want to be social, or if your door is open. That also means like you can come in, we can talk and chill. If the door is closed, you're doing whatever you need to do behind closed doors, or you just don't want to be bothered. Like that was my own personal rule too. I was just like, doors closed, they want to have their own time.
Yeah.
So I mean, like at the beginning when I was still working, me and Delana and Shirley would be working downstairs, and every time like if we had like a chance to talk, we would just kind of talk about either like stresses at work or just like fucking around because we can. And I think after that we were kind of just like doing our own thing, because it was really hard for us when we were all working and we all had to take meetings. So I couldn't go upstairs to take my meeting because Michael was in the room. So I'd go into like the living room, and then Shirley or Delana would go upstairs to do their meetings, and we could just come back downstairs and just continue our work.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the social work that we've had here is, I mean, it's fine. It's almost as if we had all like really like left work and just like coming back, because a lot of the times now they're just working inside their rooms. So we only see them like during lunch, which is like usual, and then they go back upstairs and we'll see them at like dinner.
Yeah.
How have you been keeping busy or sane? And do you have any tips?
I'm just keeping busy working. So I don't have tips because it's really bad. I don't know how to like stop. So don't ask me.
I feel like for me, if the minute I just have my morning routine, and if my morning routine is off, then my day is off.
Do you eat breakfast?
It depends. So sometimes the morning routine takes a little longer than usual. Because me, I press snooze.
Yes.
Trying to get rid of that habit or excuse of pressing snooze. Really trying. It's a work in progress. But if I do have breakfast, it'll usually be something small, like nothing huge.
Yeah.
So maybe like yogurt, or I really like Uncrustables.
So good.
But the honey one, peanut butter and honey one, oh my gosh.
Oh, I
haven't
didn't even
tried
know
that.
I know, it's been so long.
So like in order to like keep sane, there's not really that many places like I can like go, but like I like to just drive around. I go to the drive-ins a lot, but I don't get out and I don't, not even to use the restroom. So like I literally, if I feel the need to like use the restroom, I have to hold it. But like it's been fun. They don't really play. I don't really like the movies out, but like I mean, it's a way to get out.
Yeah. Do you think you guys like letting yourself leave the house safely once in a while is keeping you sane? Because I know my sister, like, she says if she doesn't get to go like flea market or something where she's still wearing a mask and stuff, like she's gonna go crazy at home. So like, do you feel like it helps you if you like go out sometimes?
I feel like it
Yes.
probably would. Yeah. And I say that because I haven't gone anywhere during this whole COVID. Like I really haven't. I've gone to like Martinez. Okay, that's Michael's home. Or I've gone to the supermarket. That's the, like because it's basic necessities, right? But I went to the beach like one time, and I did think like that actually helped because I was just like clearing my mind, and like you're not seeing the same things that you would normally see at home. So it's just like your housemates are just doing like watching TV, the basic things, right? You're just going out and you're just observing people
And
at a
getting
very,
air.
very far distance.
Like I feel like I don't even remember what air feels like because I'm always in my room. Like I don't even go outside unless I bring my dog to pee. But like that's it.
I
Also,
feel
the
like
air
going.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really bad, so we couldn't go outside, and that was
was.
like even harder.
Whew.
For self-care, I just kind of give myself like a pedicure, or like I try to do like a spa thing. Like I'll just put like a face mask on and just like lay down and just try to think about nothing. Just to like clear my head, or I'll go for like a walk around the neighborhood. Like sometimes when I like maybe in May, I told Michael, I was like, I'm fucking going crazy. Like we have to do something. I can't stay in here anymore. I need to like go and walk or something and like see other people that they're out there. And like I've just kind of done that, and I think I've been kind of just picking up like craft stuff. I've just been like working and finding new stuff to do.
Do you guys know anyone who has had COVID, or do you know people who are like essential workers that are at risk of getting COVID, and how's that affected you?
In the beginning of all of this, my mom actually worked at Stanford, and that was supposed to be like where the hotspot was and how they were going to send all these people. And so my mom was literally in and out of the hospital. She wasn't working in patient care. She was a facilities manager. So it was pretty scary because I live with my grandma, and she was super safe though. She has like her own little entrance into the house, and it goes straight to her room. And so then she has her own shower too. So she would just go in, shower right away, and then she would like come and hang out with us. But in the beginning, it was pretty scary because we weren't sure like what could happen. And then Stanford made her get a test. So then she tested when the testing first came out. And so then she tested, and then she tested negative. So they told her the likelihood that since she's negative, that we would all be negative because she doesn't have it. So that was super scary in the beginning.
I had one friend's brother-in-law who's really young passed away, and then that's like it was really scary, and I couldn't imagine, and then it kind of made me realize like, damn, this thing is so real. Not that I didn't know, but like hearing someone I knew's family member passed away from this was like really heartbreaking. And then my aunt got it, but like thank God she's okay, and like nobody else in the family in that house got it. But I have a ton of friends that are like doing is it EMT?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that and nurses. So like I think about them all the time. I always text them to make sure they're okay. But they tell me some crazy stories like how their coworkers all of them got COVID, and then like their families got it, and some people passed away. And I was like, I can't imagine them going into work every day, and it's so like they're putting everyone around them at risk, but they do it because they care. So it's like I just worry about them all the time.
No, for sure. My other two uncles, they work at Stanford too, and they are in the hospitals. Not necessarily patient care, but they do like all the cleanup work. And they live with my grandma, so that's also very scary. But I mean, granted, they're fine. She's fine. They're safe. So
Yeah, Michael's sister-in-law, her sister actually got COVID. But the bad thing is that she got it from her husband because he had been constantly going into work.
would you guys say you're scared of COVID still, or like?
Yes. I think as time is passing by, people are getting more like relaxed with it, and they think, okay, we're okay now. And then they're all starting to go out more, but then I don't get it. I'm still staying home. I'm like terrified, But I also have a reason to, like, I'm not
Yeah.
technically immunocompromised, but my doctor suggests that I live like I am because she said I have so many issues going on that my immune system's super weak. So like I treat myself as if I can get really sick from this, so like I don't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, the first time I went to a grocery store was, I think, last month. And it was this month. And then my brother and I, we were trying to cook dinner for the family. And like we went into one store, and then by the time we got to the second store, I started having a panic attack inside the place, and I was trying to tell him, but then I started choking behind my mask because I was just freaking out, and I just like let out a cough, but I didn't realize COVID and coughing. So then like I was just panicking and like I didn't have a breath. So when I coughed, you guys like trying to walk away from me and pretend you didn't know me because he was like, you can't do that in stores. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. Like I just haven't gone anywhere that it's like so weird to me. It's so crazy. I feel like it's another world out there because I just haven't stepped outside.
No, and it's really bad. Like if they see you coughing or sneezing, and if they're like, oh, she's Asian, she must have
Oh,
COVID,
that's true.
which makes me so mad because I'm like, I'm sorry that it, originated or it came from like, Wuhan, but it doesn't mean that all Asians are carrying it. Like, you're so rude. I was actually really paranoid once COVID came out because all those stories came out was just saying like the lady, old grandma was set on fire and like SF. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm always scared for my mom because I'm like, what if some crazy person tries to kill you while you're out? Like I don't feel safe. And I was telling my project manager at the time when I was working, I was just like, yeah, I don't really like going out because I just don't feel like comfortable in the environment.
I don't think that I'm like scared, like not, I don't feel like overly paranoid, but I'm definitely like very aware that like, because I live with my grandma and like I do take all the precautions I need to. And sometimes like my mom will ask me, oh, can your auntie come over because blah 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 blah, she's gonna color our hair and she's gonna color all of the auntie's hair, and we have, the shower right there, which is my grandma's shower, and they're just gonna color the hair and shower in grandma's shower. And I was like, like I was so like pissed at that. I was like, no way. Like I know that there are aunts, but like this is my grandma, I only have one. And I'm like, no, I'll protect her at all costs, but like I don't feel like the paranoia of like, oh no, I'm gonna get sick. I just like think about her.
I think I feel the same as Krista. Like I don't feel paranoid that I'm gonna get sick, and I feel like if I do get sick, it's kind of just like, all right, like I'll fight it. I don't feel like scared that I'm gonna die. Like if I get it, I feel like it's just something that's gonna be another cold, another flu. I'll get over it. But I was telling Tiff and Krista that I think I already got it, if I'm being completely honest. Because back in 2019, in December of 2019, I was sick for 2 weeks and it was in my lungs. Like it was just all phlegm. I couldn't get it out. And I even went to my doctor and I was like, hey, like something's wrong with me. Like I feel really sick, but I don't feel sick. Like it was just weird. It wasn't a normal sickness. And she was like, okay, well, I'll re-up your inhalers because I have asthma. And she was like, she checked my lungs and she was like, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I can give you an x-ray if you want, because she was worried about my asthma and my lungs. And I was like, no, I'll just go home, and if I don't feel better, I'll come back. And she was like, yeah, you can also do that. And so I just went home and I like laid it out for 2 weeks, and then I felt better. So it's like it's like similar to everything that is about COVID. So I'm convinced. I mean, I can pay $100 and take the plasma test, but I don't have $100 because I'm a teacher. So I wouldn't say that I feel scared, but I get why you guys are or could be. And like Krista, I do worry for my grandma. And when I do go out, of course, I'm safe. I'm aware. I've always been a germaphobe. So the fact that people are crazy about germs now, I'm like, what were you doing before? Like, why were you not washing your hands? I don't get it.
Yeah, I was like, we had sanitizers in our bags before this. I was just like, what? So confused.
Why was that not?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't get that in your stocking stuffers? Little Bath and Body Works? Come on.
Yeah.
Shoot.
They even got ones with clips on them. Come on.
How have you been feeling mentally, emotionally, and physically during all these months?
I kind of talked about this in Bible study yesterday, if I'm being honest, but I kind of asked, like, how has 2020 like affected you truly? You know, like social media is telling us, oh, it's so bad. Like I can't wait for 2020 to be over. I want all of this to be done. I want to go back to normal, right? But then there's a lot of people who are saying like this is the new normal. Like wearing a mask is going to be the new normal. Staying 6 feet apart. All the stores having like the glass shields. Like this is normal. Like, do you? I don't know. I mean, sorry to go off topic, but like,
Okay.
do you guys think that like you can accept this new normal?
It's gonna take some time to adjust to, but I think I mean it's gonna have to happen if we want something to change, you know. And I think wearing the mask like is really gonna help prevent, you know, not just COVID, but any other like diseases that could be, you know, like evolving. Because you know, like in Asia, they always implemented wearing masks,
Yeah.
like if they were sick or if they knew like they were gonna be someone near someone who was infectious. So I think that's just something that we would have to learn to do. It's just hard to implement it with everybody in the country.
Yeah. I think there's some positives that came from this, like how we said all our bonds with like certain family members got stronger. And also I think people now cherish their relationships, like friendships too, much more. And like when we can possibly go out more even with masks, like I feel like they're gonna now be like closer to their friends in a different way because we all went through this together.
Oh, I agree with Catherine. Like, I think there's so many positives. Like, obviously there are negatives, but like I try to think about the positives. Like, for the fact that I can request like delivery and they'll just leave the food at my door, so I don't have to change. I don't have to put on a bra to get my food. Like, what? Like, I like that. I like that I could wear a mask and hide my RBF, my resting witch face. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to do it. It's just that's how my face is. And I just kind of like that I get to hide a little bit.
2020, I mean, so much has happened, and I feel like everyone's so quick to be like, let's get this year over with. But I feel like you guys too, like there's so much more. Like I feel so hopeful. Like I personally have changed. I mean, mentally, it's been tough. Yeah, for sure. Like I mentioned earlier, staying home sucked. I didn't know how to do that. Emotionally, I had to learn to be by myself, like Catherine said, and be comfortable with being by myself. And I feel like society has lost sight of that because we are so used to gathering, so used to doing things with people. It was a privilege, to be completely honest, being able to do all that. And when's the last time you were able to go out to eat by yourself? Have you ever done that? Like, I don't know. Being by yourself is not easy. And I feel like 2020 has transformed that, you know? I mean, and to answer the last one, physically, I changed my diet completely because of COVID. I no longer eat meat. I was vegetarian for quite some time, but I changed it to incorporating some seafood now and every now and then. Wow, can't speak. I also like forced myself to go on my daily walks, which has also affected my dog's health. So he's a lot healthier, which is nice to see. And I tried to work out, but I'm lazy because I don't have a gym like Krista.
And it's really hot. I'm just kidding.
It is. It's
We're gonna
super
have
hot.
heat waves all the time.
How have I been feeling mentally, emotionally, and physically? I think mentally, I think before, like, I would get really short with myself, like, oh, why did I do that? Like, and I get like really hard on myself. But I think like during this time, it's like we all make mistakes. And I think especially during this time, like we're all being more like aware of other people's needs. Like, oh, okay, this person like needs more like community. And like before we I would see it as like, oh, they're kind of like bothering me, but I'm like, oh no, they're reaching out because they need that. So I'm like being more aware of like, I can give this to you because I can see that that's what you need. And it's vice versa. Like I can tell for myself like, oh, I need something, and I'll know to reach out to somebody and be like, I just need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before I just would talk and not really realize that I just needed somebody to listen. Emotionally, I think I feel a little bit more leveled. I'm not so like riding the waves, but if I feel like something makes me happy, I'll like just dwell on that for like as long as possible. Like I just want to chase the high, you know?
Yeah.
I do a 30-second dance party just to like keep it going. Physically, yeah, I've just been working out, so I think that's more enjoyable now because now it's like more of a privilege. Like I see it's really a privilege to be able to work out, whereas before I'd be like, ugh, I have to work out, you know?
I'm gonna get deep. Okay, well, you guys already know if you like watched the other one where I talk about my chronic illness, but I already had all these like mental issues before all this started, and now I had to start anxiety meds because of household stuff you guys know about, but also the COVID kind of gave me like a lot of stress and anxiety where I couldn't like leave. Like my agoraphobia came back where my brother like made fun of me because I was literally in the house for so long. And it was true. Like I'm laughing about it too because I couldn't even step out to a grocery store. Like that brought me so much anxiety. And that's why it took like 7 months. And so like my mental health kind of went to the lowest it's ever been. And then I was put on anxiety meds. I decided to finally take it. I felt a little defeated because that was something I never wanted to do. And now I've been on it for like 3 months, I think, and it's taken a lot of adjustment. Like it gives me a lot of side effects in the beginning, like nausea, hot flashes. It was just a hot mess. It was really hard to stay on, and I had to have monthly calls with my doctor because she wanted to check on me. But I think the medicine's working a little because I've had less panic attacks, even though I just had one before this. But it's definitely not as frequent. So like I feel like emotionally that made me happier. And although my job is bringing me a lot of stress, it's making me emotionally happier and satisfied because I feel fulfilled. Like I'm excited to get up at 4 and work until like 9, and I don't care how tired I am. Like I enjoy it. And physically, because of the anxiety medication, I finally got to try to play basketball again with my brother once in a while. That brought me so much happiness. Like to be able to throw the ball a few times and like I wasn't in intense pain every time because I think like he also just brings my mood up. That like made me really happy. So I'm finally being able to play basketball again. I'm working at like something I enjoy. And I don't know, that's why I feel like COVID is like not that bad because I grew and I'm happier. Yes.
I was raising the roof, but I'll give you a clap.
We give you some shine. That's what I do with my kids.
Ooh,
I'll give
I
you some
like that.
shine.
I think mentally, I have just learned to just keep it cool and just calm myself down when I think like if you're like sitting by yourself sometimes, you know, your thoughts just kind of run wild and you just think about everything, just whatever possible. I think I've just learned to kind of just cool my thoughts and just kind of just sit and just either like enjoy the silence or just not think about anything. Like I'll just try to think about more like happy thoughts, just be like, oh, remember like the last year that, you know, we went to the beach or something, or we went on vacation. Just kind of like bringing that mentality back up. I feel like I have just done more of kind of just self-care and not trying to think of like how this COVID has like affected me because of, you know, like losing my job.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like one of the biggest things for people. It's just like because of COVID, everyone's like kind of lost their job, and it's really hard to find a job now and then because, you know, the economy or, you know, companies don't have the finances to, you know, pay for a new employee. So I think I've been just trying to keep positive and just saying, you know, it's gonna take time. Someone will eventually like me, and I'll find a fit with a company that I think will be a right, you know, like is suited taste for myself. Emotionally, I feel drained because of constantly applying for jobs. I was talking to Catherine about it. I was just like, you know, even doing things through Indeed, or LinkedIn, I didn't really get a lot of like job offers, but as soon as I had put it in Indeed, like I just kept getting, you know, companies calling and asking for interviews. But that's also very draining because they're asking the same things, you know, like, oh, why did you leave your previous job? What did you like about your job? What did you do at your job? And I feel like I just wanted to be on a voice record and just record the whole thing so that I could just relay it to the next recruiter asking me before I go to the hiring manager, then to the department manager, then to the team. It's just like, it's just very exhausting to do.
Yeah.
Physically, I've been getting slightly rounder. So as many others have during COVID, I mean, it's totally fine. I always say, I'm hibernating for the winter, which is why I've chosen to run myself out.
At
But
least you're looking at it like that.
Well, I try not to think that I'm like, I don't think I'm gaining weight because I have, okay, you guys might be in front of me, but I have jeans and I wear them occasionally to see whether or not I gain weight.
Yeah.
And jeans don't lie to you. Leggings will lie because they shape to whatever you are. But jeans, they're just like, you fit or you don't fit. So, and I've decided to keep myself active and just do workouts 3 times a week.
Do you guys find yourself on social media less during this time instead of on your phone more? Because that happened to me and I was surprised. I am barely on social media anymore. And I'm like, it feels good, but I also feel so out of the loop. But now I understand why people don't have it sometimes. Because like I barely go on it unless it's for work. And it feels so good.
I feel like I gained social media
Oh.
because I have more time.
Hi, I'm Krista. I'm also a social media addict.
Yes. Welcome.
No, I kind of agree with you, Catherine. Like during this whole COVID, I've just kind of just like lost it with social media. Like I'll click on it, right? But I'll only be there for maybe like a minute and then I'm off because I'm just like, I kind of just see the same things, just people like posting pictures about, you know, maybe they're sporadically traveling or they're just making something new. I don't know. I just felt like I don't have a need to look at social media anymore because I felt like I didn't realize how much of it, like we're constantly on it until like, you know, you lay in your bed at night and you're like just looking at it, just keep scrolling. And I've kind of just diverted from that. And I've been kind of looking at just, I don't know, Michael, because he's on the left of me.
Yeah. Or like putting your time into like your hobbies and stuff. And then you get tired from that and it's like, I don't need social media anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say my social media increased, but it's not because I'm watching other people, like people that I like, my friends. It's more like I follow some people that I have discovered through YouTube, and I try to like learn things off of their YouTube channel, and I like to stay involved on the Instagram. So I'll take that as like I'm learning rather than like scrolling.
Yeah.
Not me. I found myself watching stupid videos and I'm like, oh, I hate this girl. But I'm like watching anyway.
Do you guys find yourself ordering takeout more often than you actually went out before COVID?
Yes.
No.
But I've been doing like a DoorDash hack. Not really a hack because it's just on there. But I save so much more money. So I'm really lazy. But I like to DoorDash like restaurants around my house. And so I'll order on DoorDash, but I just go and pick it up. And it's like $20 to $30 cheaper if I just go and pick it up myself. But then like I don't have to deal with whoever's on the phone. I could just deal with my phone, order it real quick, pay online, go there and be like, order for Alessa. And they're like, yeah, here you go. I'm like, thanks, late. Like I don't even got a tip or nothing because it's already paid for. Yeah.
I like never used DoorDash before because like I just only eat out when I like go with friends. But now I use DoorDash like when my brother and sister come eat. Like that's a treat. But other than that, no, I don't really order that much food because my mom cooks.
You know, my sister, she's been like cooking for the whole house. And she like actually she'll take requests and she'll get it pretty good. But still she has like a dash pass and she'll like enable me. This is like how we bond over lunch. She's like, I'm door dashing, and she'll like send me the group order. And oh my gosh, there's too
You guys
much.
do DoorDash a lot, even before this.
That true. It increased now, but because she has a dash pass and she's lazy and she knows it. But also when we DoorDash, we specifically go to like small businesses. So
Aw.
feel good about ourselves.
I'm the same as Kat though. I never used DoorDash before. Like I would just go there or I would go pick up the food myself because now that I'm learning all the services at DoorDash, like was it service and then tip and then, you know, tip for your driver and then tax, I'm like, I'm basically buying another meal.
Yeah, that's why I saved
Yeah.
$20 to $30. It was insane. When I saw the price drop that much, I was like, never again. I'm driving to go pick it up.
We're going to share our core routines. So like basically walk us through your normal quarantine day.
Okay. So during the work day, I put a Keurig machine right next to my desk, which is in my bedroom. So every day I wake
Convenient.
up, Yeah, I know. I'm so lazy. Every day I wake up, brew some coffee, and then I like snooze again. And then I just like let the scent of like coffee like wake me up. Then I go to work, log on, like with like all like sleepy eyed, and then I just work. But like I get up a lot during work to like stretch because I have like some like weird back issues now. And then after that, like I'll eat and then work out and then watch TV or like do whatever like any self-care thing. So it's everything I do now is all self-care after work.
That's good. That's good. You should be taking care of yourself after work, especially being like this all day. I feel like that's how I am all day, like this, like.
All right. I
11
try to have
a.m.
this as a personal routine for myself. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday is I wake up, I work out, and then I eat lunch. Then I job search for like about 2 hours. Then when I'm mentally drained, I play Animal Crossing for like a good hour or two. Then I make dinner. What else do I do? Then it's just kind of like free time. I'm like, I play either more games, I watch anime with Michael, or I just kind of fuck around that with my housemates because I like to scare them. So I'll hide behind like the walls or their doors, and we fuck up with each other. We just like to scare because we're bored.
Oh,
And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I kind of just have that as my relaxed day. Don't think about looking for a job. Just do whatever you want. So it's either like maybe like baking or working on art projects or reading, something like that. Oh, and then Fridays also we most likely drink. Yep. And then Saturday and Sunday also we would drink. That really dependent, and we play like board games at night, but the day is like pretty much the same.
So now that we've made it to October of 2020, how hopeful or unhopeful, or what are your thoughts or feelings going into the rest of the year?
I'm going to choose to look at it in a positive way. And hopefully most of my family can maybe get together Thanksgiving or Christmas safely and social distance, but I just really want to see them. So I'm looking forward to that. And maybe my business growing more because it's holiday season, but I'm also going to be busier. So I don't know. I'm excited. Like I don't look at this in like a bad way at all, except for the people passing away. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. My sister's wedding is next month. So, and then right after that, it's going to be Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And I'm just like really excited to enjoy the holidays. It's going to be a little bit different, but like, I mean, I'm excited to see like what we'll come up with.
I probably say the same as you guys. Like, I'm really excited for the holidays. I love Christmas. I've already passed through like October. October no longer exists for me. I've already watched majority of the Halloween movies. That's why. I just kind of want to spend more time with like my family, and then like Michael's family, and hopefully like meet up with a couple friends that we haven't seen for a while. Because we're usually hosting parties, like holiday parties. So it's going to be really different this year. And fingers crossed that I'll land a job before the end of 2020, getting that dough for Christmas. Just trying to be optimistic that maybe this was just,
it's like a reset.
Yeah, like a reset. You have to go through all the bad before good can happen.
Yeah, and it makes people better people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, guys. I know it's been a really rough year for some other people, and, just try to stay positive, and, we'll get through this together. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and, stay bitchin'.
Stay positive and bitchin'. Just kidding.
And safe.
And safe.
Safe. Yes, stay safe, y'all.
And sane.